What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at Army of One, starring Nicolas Cage and Russell Brand. Army of One is inspired by a true story. This movie follows a man named Gary Faulkner, who, on a mission from God, is going to Pakistan in order to bring Osama bin Laden to America so that he can face justice and stuff. That's the overall story of Army of One. Let's talk about it. All right. This review is going to be as short and sweet as humanly possible. At the end of the day, Army of One is a stupid, dumb, and ridiculous movie, but it's downright hilarious. I have never laughed so hard watching a movie in recent times as I have as I have watching Army of One. This movie is just a turn your brain off comedy that knows that it's ridiculous and it has a lot of fun with it. Not only that, you have Nicolas Cage in the role of Gary Faulkner, who is the lead character in this movie, and Nicolas Cage completely disappears into this role of Gary Faulkner. He is downright hysterical, from the voice to the mannerisms to his personality. Like, Nicolas Cage really deep dives into the role of Gary Faulkner, and he is downright hysterical in this movie. Nicolas Cage in this movie is hysterical. I got a lot of laughs out of his performance in this movie because I thought he really brought his A game to a movie that should not have had no A game, to be honest with you. Yeah. But not only that, like he gives Gary a really good personality. I like Gary's interactions with a lot of people in his neighborhood. But other than that, I just like the character of Gary just in general. You know, I like how he's like this out of work, but can do it all handyman, who who just sits at home and who just sits around and does nothing and mooches off other people. But he's kind of well liked by people as well too. When we see that in his interactions with his two friends, played by Paul Schreier and Will Sasso, we see that in the budding romance that he has with this Marcy character. We learn that they had like a little bit of a thing going on in high school, but now that they're adults, it gets more expanded upon. So I like that. I like the relationship that he has with Marcy and with Marcy's adopted daughter Lizzie, who was a handicap. I thought that stuff was actually I thought those two things are actually pretty good, and they did a good job at making Gary feel more like making Gary feel grounded, especially in his more suburban life before he goes to Pakistan and everything just goes all over the place. That stuff I enjoyed. Then you have Russell Brand, who plays God in this movie, and Russell Brand as God I thought was absolutely hysterical. He and Nicolas Cage surprisingly have very fun on-screen chemistry with one another. And every time Faulkner sees God, he's always in awe and he's always in shock, like, "Yes, Your Holiness." It's hilarious stuff. Russell Brand plays a god with a spunky personality, if you will. He doesn't play like the typical version of God. Which, why would you? This is a stupid comedy. Go nuts, go crazy, and they do. And Cage and Brand, to me, can tell are clearly having fun playing the two roles that they're in. With Cage, I think taking it more, Cage having more fun than Russell Brand is. But as the two co-leads of this film, I thought they were really, really funny. And the rest of the supporting cast is good as well, though I don't think they're as memorable. Like the character of a doctor, played by Matthew Modine, who has like one scene, and Gary just uses his way to con himself into getting a boat so he can sail to Pakistan. And then when that doesn't work, he tries hand gliding to Pakistan. It's like the attempts that Gary tries to do to get to Pakistan is just hilariously stupid to themselves that you just can't help but laugh at it. And then when he eventually does get to Pakistan, that's where the fun really begins. Like, the first half of this movie is Gary just trying to get to Pakistan. The second half of this movie is Gary in Pakistan, and the movie just has a lot of fun. Has a lot of fun seeing Gary, go through the different cultures of Pakistan. Mistakenly thinking that people can be the bearded one, Osama bin Laden, until he finally stumbles across the cave that Osama is in, and they have a sword fight. which I think is actually the most underwhelming part of this entire movie. You know, we build this entire movie trying for Faulkner to get to Osama bin Laden. And like I said, I'm not all too familiar with the real life story behind this. This is a movie. You've already taken God knows how many liberties you have. You might as well just go nuts and have Nicolas Cage and Osama bin Laden have a more extended sword fight with some slapsticky comedy in it. I don't think the sword fight goes all that long, which is a shame because you could have gotten some more mileage out of it. I mean, you already did get some mileage out of it with when Nicolas Cage starts when Gary Faulkner starts to hallucinate because he's on dialysis and he has to use dialysis for his kidneys. But the longer he's off dialysis, he starts to have hallucinations. There's this one scene where he hallucinates Osama bin Laden in an MTV Cribs type of way, and it's downright stupidly hilarious. You know, you got Osama bin Laden touring his cave like, yo, this is my crib, this is my cave, this is where my main man makes all the white boys shake. We call him Milkshake. It's like stupid shit, but it's so damn funny. I had a lot of fun watching Army of One. I think this movie is downright ridiculous in terms of its premise and in terms of how it's executed, but at the same time, it's also really entertaining. And it's really, really rare where comedies can make me laughing from start to finish with very little pauses in between. Which is why Army of One, for me, gets a solid 8 out of 10. Yes, this movie's an 8 out of 10. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, but damn it, it's so damn entertaining, and Nicolas Cage is just so much fun to watch on screen. And the interactions that he has with a lot of the cast, especially with Russell Brand, are just downright hilarious. 8 out of 10 for Army of One. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.